All right, what's poppin', y'all? Let's talk about it. Was the Last Crescendo the best boxing card ever? I mean, we had classics, knockouts, some controversy. I mean, it could be a game changer for the sport. First, let's talk about Callum Smith and Joshua Buatsi, which is easily a fight of the year contender. Smith, the guy they called old, well, he looked that way early and Buatsi came out hot. But eventually Smith adjusted, and by the later rounds, we had a war. Both men traded heavy shots with neither backing down, and when you thought Smith was about to be finished, he'd rally back. And Buatsi, well, he'd do the same when he'd be in trouble. This is a classic 100%. Now Smith would get the decision, and it would be a great start to what would end up being a great card. Yeah, because after that, you had the heavyweights, and that was Agit Kabayel versus Zhang. And let's just say, hey, the division got a new contender. These dudes threw down. Zhang came out fast and scored an early knockdown, and it looked like he was going to steamroll. But Kabayel, well, he was technical and smart. He weathered the storm and ripped Zhang to the body, opened him up top, and broke him down. He's now the first man to ever finish Zhang. Say what you want, that's a statement. What we learned on Saturday is Kabayel, well, he's a name worthy enough to be spoken of with the top guys in the division. He's not only got the speed and the power to be a threat, but he's got the IQ and grit to keep up here as well. And because of that, he's the guy I want to see face Usyk next. I mean, we've seen Usyk and Dubois, but this fight is a boxing fan's dream. Now let's talk about Shakur Stevenson. Y'all think he beat the born fighter allegations on Saturday? Now Shakur dominated on Saturday, won every round, eventually stopped William Padley in the 9th, but we gotta be real. His opponent was a last minute replacement, a journeyman, some could say a hobby boxer. The dude was literally working a 9 to 5 earlier this week. He had no camp, no training, and the dude still lasted over 30 minutes. Rumors are that Shakur hurt his hand. If that's true, then okay. But honestly, this is a fight that he was supposed to make a statement regardless. Instead, on Saturday night, it seemed like everybody was talking about Padley's heart instead. And maybe we're judging Shakur too harshly because the other fight on the card that had a replacement, well, that fight was over before these fighters even broke a sweat. Joseph Parker smoked Martin Bakole in 2 rounds. Was the stoppage too quick? Maybe. But Bakole had no camp, no training, and just flew in from the Congo a few hours before. We gotta be real. His corner saved him. And honestly, it was probably the right call. But here's the thing. Bakole was landing some shots. In those few exchanges that we saw, he was impacting Parker. Hey, I want to see this fight when both these guys are at full strength, fully healthy, and got a full camp on them. Now, Parker was supposed to fight Dubois, but now with Usyk eyeing a match with Dubois, Parker might be out of luck. If that happens, give me Parker versus Kabayel. Both are strong, fast, and they're willing to throw down. To me, that fight sells itself. Finally, the main event, Dmitry Bivol edging out Artur Beterbiev in their second fight. And guys, the next great trilogy in boxing is officially here. Yeah, Bivol avenged his loss unboxing Beterbiev to become undisputed. But this was no blowout by any means. Beterbiev still had his moments, and some argue that he even won the fight. Late rounds, Bivol's fresher legs though made the difference. And honestly, I had this fight going either way. So honestly, there's nothing left to do but run it back for a third time. They've split one apiece, so it's obvious. Let's do it again. Now, David Benavidez was in attendance, and even during the card, Turki Al-Sheikh sent a message to him saying, hey, you got the winner of this fight. But considering how this one ended, how close this fight was, the first 2 fights were, I think it's only right we got to run it back a third time. All right, y'all, let me know in the comments what you guys thought of the Last Crescendo. It was half a dozen fights in, half a dozen fights that really could have headlined any pay-per-view. I mean, Ortiz versus Madrimov, we didn't even mention, but that was also a banger. Shiraz versus Adames, that was controversial. I mean, this card had it all. It felt different from the beginning of the week. The events the fighters were going to, this felt like the start of something new. I think the fighters saw the great product that was going on. All the events leading up to fight week, then on fight night, the great entrances, the great vibe of the event. I mean, I think all the fighters realized, yo, we're not putting on a show here. We're auditioning for a new era of boxing. A few years ago, people were saying the sport was dead. Now, hey, I would say boxing's back. And let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let's keep the conversation going down there. What you guys think of the Last Crescendo? Let me know what your favorite fight on the card was. I mean, for me, that was Callum Smith versus Joshua Buatsi. No question, not at all. All right, so let's keep the conversation going down there. If you haven't, click a like on the video. Let's get it popping in the algorithm. Remember to subscribe to the channel. We got so much more coming for you, from news events, news recaps, history videos, list videos, so much more. Click that notification bell. Hey, we're creating a little family here, y'all, and it's based on the one thing we love most. Y'all know what to do. It's Lou Too Sick. Keep those hands up.